Okay, so today we're going to look at factoring ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, the only way today's going to be really different is that the a value is not necessarily going to be 1 anymore. Okay, we might be 2 or 3 or 6 or 8. Okay, and so it's a little bit more of a trick to doing this type of factoring, but we'll discuss how we can approach this. So to start, we're just going to practice factoring when a is 1, right? So again, I have, for my first problem, I have x squared plus 10x plus 9. I want to factor that into two linear binomials, okay? And so I'll identify my a value here as 1, my b value is 10, and my c value is 9, right? I'll make my x chart. Okay, I want these two numbers to multiply to a times c. So 1 times 9 is 9. These same two numbers have to add to b. And so my b term here is 10. And again, I want to think of two numbers that multiply to 9 but add to 10, right? That's pretty easy. It's just 1 times 9. Okay, and so I'm going to write this out as x plus 1 times x plus 9, and those will be my two binomial factors, right? That's my final answer. Now I can always check my work with FOIL, right? So I know that x times x is x squared, outside is a positive 9x, inside is a positive 1x, and last times last is a positive 9. So if I add these things together, I get x squared plus 10x plus 9. Okay, so I know that I'm good to go. Okay, moving on to our next one. Number 2, I have x squared plus 6x minus 40. So I'll identify a, b, and c. My a value here is 1, b value is 6, and c value is negative 40, right? And so I'll make my x chart. My a times c here is negative 40, and my b value here is 6. All right, so I'm trying to think, all right, two numbers that multiply to negative 40 but add to 6. So let's just look at all the ways we can get to negative 40 here. Okay, well, I got 1 times negative 40, or negative 1 times 40. I have 2 and negative 20, or negative 2 positive 20. Okay, I have 4 and 10, so 4 negative 10, or negative 4 positive 10. I think I might have my lucky winner here, right? Because I know that the product of negative 4 and 10 is negative 40, but the sum of those two is 6. So I think these are my two numbers, negative 4, positive 10. And so I'll write this out as x minus 4, x plus 10. Okay, and that's my answer, right? I can always check again with FOIL, so I know x times x is x squared. The outsides here are a positive 10x. The insides here are a negative 4x. And then last times last is negative 40. Combining like terms, I now have x squared plus 6x minus 40, okay? And I know I'm correct because I checked my work, okay? Let's just look at a couple other ones here. We're doing well so far, okay? This one's very similar. Now it's the negative 6x minus 40, okay? So I'll identify a, b, and c again. So my a here is 1, b is negative 6, and c is negative 40. So I want these two numbers that I get to multiply to a times c, which is negative 40, and add to b, which is negative 6. If I just look at my list from last time, that should sort of help, right? 4 and negative 10 here would work, right? Because I know that 4 times negative 10 is negative 40, and 4 plus a negative 10 is negative 6. Right? So I get 4 and negative 10 here. So here are my binomial factors of x plus 4 and x minus 10. Okay, and this is my answer. And remember, I can just check with FOIL. So first times first will give me this. The outsides will give me a negative 10x. The insides will give me a positive 4x. And then last times last will give me a negative 40. And combining like terms, here is what I end up with. Okay, I almost circled that. That's not quite my answer. Okay, that's just I checked my work and I know I'm correct. Okay, and the very last one. Okay, so we'll identify a, b, and c. So a is 1, b is negative 11, and c is positive 24. Again, I want my numbers to multiply to a times c and add to b. All the ways I can get to positive 24 I could do, let's see, 1 times 24, right? 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, okay? Well, none of these will add to negative 11, but if both of these are negative, I know that they'll multiply to the positive 24, and they'll add to negative 11. So negative 3, negative 8 are my numbers here. So my final answer will be x minus 3 times x minus 8. And again, I'll check my work with FOIL. My first times first will give me x squared. My outsides will give me a negative 8x. Insides will give me a negative 3x. Last times last will give me a positive 24. And when I combine like terms, I can see that my answer is 100% correct. Okay, I hope this helps you guys. We will be quizzing on this, and we're going to take a look at some more complicated stuff today.